And we're back. Jam Solo here alongside of Lex. And Lex, we have a pretty good game that we're about to call here between Le Quebecoise and the Vipers, who just finished defeating North Central. They'll be playing, their prize for winning is to play a game again.
No rest for the weary, my friend.
No rest here. From what I'm seeing here, Le Quebecoise, they've had a pretty good day. They beat Windsor. They beat and Lansing, and then they had a pretty close game, but they came out on the losing end against Our Ladies of Pain. So this is once again a do-or-die situation for both teams. We're about 10 seconds away from the referees getting this thing on their way.
And since the Les Québécois had not played here in Ted Reeve Arena yet, let's introduce the players. Number 0, Bruce Wheel Lease. Number 03, Little Witch, who is going to be out with a shoulder injury. Number 04, Scary Prince. Number 06, Mim Sane in the brain. Number 28, Valkyrie, who's going to be one of their jammers. Number 33, La Planteuse. Number 357, Trigger. Number 416, Beelzebubs. Number 49, Roadrunner. Number 65 is Gigi Crackaface. Number 922, ND Story, and number 96, John Doe. On the bench, Can't See Me and Pure Evil. Her Evil, rather.
I'm loving the play on some of these names.
And your refereeing crew here is crew number 4, headed by Joe Smith. You also got Yogi, Sarah T, Queen Victoria, Dreaded Medic, No Shenanigans, Holly de Haviland, Shadon Fowler, and Night in Jail.
We are at our 5 seconds from the timekeeper. The game is on their way. This should be a tight, close game. Big battle off the start. Nom de Guerre busts through and gets lead jam for the Vipers. Vipers defense is just picking up where they left off and really giving Valkyrie a hard time here right now. She manages to get through, but Nom de Guerre is right in there behind her. Squeaks in, gets herself a 4 points, and she calls off that jam.
Nom de Guerre and Valkyrie, the two players to watch out for here, as they both have been scoring very, very high jams in their previous games. I believe Valkyrie rather had one jam of 15, one jam of 26, and one jam of 28 back in the bubble.
And this is, you said this is their first time at the Ted Reeve today for Le Quebecois. A little bit of a stickier floor over here. So we have, I'm not sure who's jamming for the Vipers. We haven't seen her yet today.
Number 77, Blossom? Princess Blossom.
Blossom gets out and gets lead jam for the Vipers. Beelzebubs not far behind her for Le Quebecois. So it looks like the Vipers again are just, like I say, picking up where they left off. Very tight walls, good track awareness. But I have seen a lot from the Quebec teams in the past few years, and let me tell you, they have a good training organization there. And I've seen a few Quebec teams come from behind and steal some victories, so still very early. It's only 6-0 right now for the Vipers.
Speaking of Quebec teams that did steal a victory, the Toronto Vipers' one lone loss so far came at the hands of Montreal.
That's correct.
And it was a come-from-behind victory in the final jam.
Yep. And now they're in a situation where they're on a power jam. Valkyrie gets through very quickly. Valkyrie coming in on her scoring pass, sneaks in on the inside and grabs her 5.
Beautiful move there. Looked like she almost did step out of bounds, but she kept herself in.
Now she's looking for the sweep. She's going to get that inside pocket again. She busts through for another grand slam of 5. Vipers jammer joining the track again. That is Princess Blossom. And she's just allowed to pass through on that one. Valkyrie in. Ooh. Big hit by FBI to take her out of play.
Valkyrie looks like she's okay. She's going to call it off.
And just like that, Le Quebecois turns around, and now they are in the lead with 10, and the Vipers sitting at 6. The Vipers currently have 1 blocker in the box.
Yeah, on that last jam, FBI with the vicious hip check there, and as you mentioned, stickier floors here at Reeve, and you know, it's a good thing that she didn't that she's okay, didn't get injured on that one.
Yeah, we've seen a few awkward falls on this corner right in front of us.
Slashimi breaks out as the lead jammer, and Beelzebubs is just being
pummeled.
Yeah. Dolly Dagger with the big checks.
The Vipers, they're all over the defense today, and that's a key to their game right now. And Beelzebubs lost a toe stop, and there we go. Good. You hate to see any kind of a part come off a skate out there because nobody notices it. Good on the OPR to pick that up for them. Slashimi calls it.
And it's and when the toe stop comes off, that's actually one of the weapons that you can actually use to dipsy doodle or like juke past the blockers.
Yep.
And yeah, when that toe stop comes off and you don't know it, that could end up being a little bit.
In most cases, unless someone's screaming at you, you've lost your toe stop, you don't even notice until you go to use it.
Good thing they called that last jam off. Oh!
Valkyrie hits hard.
Face planted on the floor there, and
she tried to take that inside line, and she just tripped, and hopefully she's okay. She did kind of hit her head pretty hard there. Our EMS crew.
She looks like she's okay.
She's good.
Smile on her face and everything.
She recognized they had called for the EMS, so she got up immediately. I think her helmet took most of the impact, but as we were saying earlier, the concrete's not very forgiving. So
not at all.
Just to hit your cheek a little bit on that doesn't feel the greatest. But during all of that, in the last jam prior to that, the Vipers actually took the lead again, and they are up 15-12 with 15 remaining in the game.
As you said, as you said earlier, this is going to be a tightly contested matchup between these two teams. Both of them firing on all cylinders today.
And I think what you're seeing right now from Le Quebecoise, they're kind of adapting to this floor a little bit. So there's some nervous legs out there, but as the jams go on, they seem to be getting a little more comfortable. We've got Princess Blossom out there for the Vipers on the jammer line, and she is up against
number 49,
Roadrunner.
Yep.
Princess Blossom gets through from the lead jam for the Vipers, but right behind her is Roadrunner. So now we're going to have a jostle for position from the blockers.
And Roadrunner's going off for a penalty, so power jam for Toronto Vipers.
And immediately they go right into that sweep, and they get Blossom through for Grand Slam. Le Quebecoise blocker recognizing that immediately, calling the squad up front. Vipers going in for the sweep again. Effective sweep gets Blossom through again for another Grand Slam. Le Quebecoise trying to regroup quickly. You can see a lot of talking going on out there.
Le Quebecoise just keeping themselves in one small position there. Now they spread out a little bit, so now they're able to hold back Princess Blossom.
Now, I'm not sure what's going on. Roadrunner's being called back to the box. So Roadrunner, the jammer for Le Quebecoise, is going back to the box. I believe she cut the track again when she entered. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that puts the Vipers right back on the power jam here with 30 seconds remaining.
Princess Blossom's already scored 18 points in this jam, looking for more. Oh, and what a spill there.
It was a big, big hit by
La Planteuse.
She got called on that immediately. If there's one thing about Derby, you can throw a lot of hits, but you can't hit opposite Derby direction. So she was called on the clockwise block immediately.
Mim staying in the brain, giving a little love to our audience, or to you, the viewer.
The viewers, yeah. So now with those 2 back-to-back power jams, the Vipers have kind of taken control of this game a little bit with a 34-12 lead. And Slash Meany comes through with lead jam again for the Vipers.
Despite having a pretty hard spill just before that turn.
Oh, and Roadrunner jumps the apex to get herself through.
Beautiful move.
You got to think Slash Meany's going to call it, and she does. Still a good move by Roadrunner to get through.
Just the agility and the strength of these athletes is just it's just amazing to see.
They push with everything they have, that's for sure. Now look at Quebecoise putting Trigger out there on the line. We haven't seen her jam yet over here at the Ted Reeve Arena yet. Not 100% sure yet who the Vipers have out there. Looks like Nom de Guerre. But look, Quebecoise really putting up a battle with the tripod. But they have to let her go due to the no pack. So Nom de Guerre gets through for lead jam once again for the Vipers.
And I believe it's Beelzebubs is the...
Here comes Trigger with a big hit about to happen.
Oh, big spill.
That's going to be a low block on Regina Gorge.
And that's actually Trigger, number 357, who's the jammer there. And took that... Ooh, and she's tripped up again.
And look, Quebecoise really putting it to Nom de Guerre right now. But she squeaks through and she calls it. Nope. She cut the track. So now Nom de Guerre for the Vipers is going to the box. Trigger's out there for Le Quebecois in a power jam opportunity.
And she gets through.
Gets herself her first Grand Slam. This is a big chance for Le Quebecois to kind of cut into that lead a little bit and get back into the game. Vipers are trying as hard as they can to speed this pack up. You can see they're forming their tripod in the front. Le Quebecois staying with them just enough to keep pack. But they're really making it hard for Trigger. Nom de Guerre just sneaks by the Le Quebecois.
4 points on that last one.
Very smart play right now by the Vipers. They are speeding up this pack, and Le Quebecois is following them. They're making it very difficult for Trigger to get up there.
And Trigger is going to be going over to the box.
Putting Nom de Guerre on the power jam. Only 3 seconds left in the jam, so that means the Vipers are going to start this next jam on the power jam. But not before Nom de Guerre adds another
3 points. Yeah. Just past the 10-minute mark in this game. Vipers up 46-17.
And Le Quebecois is calling an official review right now. And that was a pretty lengthy jam, so that could be a list of things. I'm not 100% sure what they're looking for here. So each team has an official review, and what they'll do is at the end of the jam, they'll come out and give the signal, and maybe they felt there was a track cut somewhere or some kind of a penalty that was not called, so that's what they're going to try and debate right now with the refs.
And what the official review does as well too, it just gives them effectively another timeout to use.
Absolutely, and if you win the official review, you get your official review back. So as long as you keep winning, you have an official review for the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it might be something to do with Trigger's last penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not even 100% sure what she went to the box for. I believe they were saying she cut the track, but everything's happening so fast here, trying to watch the action and trying to watch the refs' calls, it's pretty difficult.
Well, as our athletes are catching their breath, just wanted thank you. All of our sponsors here today, and we're just going to mention one of them right here, the Ingerv Group. For all your janitorial, maintenance, carpet cleaning, and flood remediation needs, call the Ingerv Group.
And another big thank you to all the pink shirts you see out there. That's non-skating officials, and they do a lot of work in behind the scenes to make sure that these games happen and these types of tournaments are planned out and the track's laid, and they get all the ducks in a row for us to be able to enjoy this. So kudos to them, and I mentioned it earlier, the refs as well. If not for the NSOs and the refs, we wouldn't be sitting here doing this right now.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like the officials are conferencing now with the scorers table.
And I believe White Noise is the tournament head ref. I'm not 100% sure, but you'll see him running back and forth if he's not actually officiating the game.
Take a couple of minutes to talk to you about the Louisa Hart Award. In 2014, GTAR lost one of our freshies, Louisa Calamaris, a.k.a. Hack Kerouac, number 1922. Louisa came to the GTA Roller Girls and started to volunteer as an NSO, eventually entering into our Fresh Meat program. She was super friendly and really eager about all things Derby. Her death was a great loss to the Derby community, and an award for the Fresh and the Furious was created in her name. The Louise Calamaris Heart Award will be awarded to one freshie involved in the tournament who demonstrates great heart, determination, and a positive attitude. The award won't necessarily go to the best skater or the MVP, but to the skater who always stays positive and never gives up. Coaches from each team will submit the name of one skater on their team that best demonstrates these qualities. The winner will be chosen from a set of names that are submitted on time by random draw, and the winner will be announced before the final game.
It's a really good award. I'm glad to see that on this list. So there's a lot of conversation going on, but it doesn't look like the Vipers are getting the answer that they want, but I could be 100% wrong on that.
And the review now is approaching the 4-minute mark. We've got 9 minutes and 51 seconds left in the bout.
Once again, to recap that score, we've got the Vipers sitting at 46 and Le Quebecoise sitting at 17. And it looks like our head ref just has to go over a couple of more details with the Vipers bench.
That's Joe Smith, a.k.a. The Rock. I smell what he's cooking.
And now the Vipers smell it too. So he looks like he's going to update our in-house announcer. Another big shout out to the photographers that come here. I don't know them all personally, but I know there's many that come here and volunteer their time and take many, many great pictures. So Le Quebecoise, when Regina Gorge performed that low block earlier in the jam, they debated that she fell in a non-controlled way, I guess. So they asked for a grievance, and it looks like they've got it. And Regina Gorge has been ejected from the game. So now that that's over, we're back underway Le Quebecoise jammer still in the box. Vipers come out, and they have lead jam right now with Badger on the jamming line for the Vipers. She sneaks through but runs into a big wall over there from Le Quebecoise. But they open up the inside for her, and she sneaks through and gets herself a grand slam. Now triggers on the track for Le Quebecoise, looking to pass that star. Badger coming in hot for the Vipers, though, looking to score some more points on this. She gets herself through, one more to beat. She gets herself through for another 5. Another grand slam for Badger.
Yeah, they passed the star over the GG Crackface, number 65 for La Québecoise.
So they still need their initial pass, so you got to think the Vipers are going to keep pushing this. Nope, she calls it.
A couple of spills there between, with Trigger and La Planteuse on La Québecoise as the jammer for the Toronto Vipers was also taken off the play, as they call. Now the score 59-19 for the Vipers.
Yeah, they're starting to really run away with this right now. So Le Quebecoise, with 8 minutes left in the game, they've really got to buckle down defensively. And that's a good way to start with lead jam right off the bat, with Valkyrie jumping through on the inside. You can see they're definitely got some urgency in their blocking right now. Vipers trying desperately to get their jammer through. Valkyrie busts through for a 5 grand slam. But that allows Slash Amy to follow her through. No doubt going to force this call here in a moment.
Setting up that three-ball tripod.
Valkyrie seems to be going for it. She's not calling this jam off. And she gets through.
And she scores, looks like 5 5 again. Another grand slam there for Valkyrie.
So she did pass Machini in there. And Le Quebecoise bench telling Valkyrie to keep it going.
Ooh, almost tripped up, but she keeps herself on her feet. And she calls it off.
So they've put a bit of a dent in there, but the Vipers kept scoring points on that jam too.
But little by little, as you were mentioning earlier, these the Quebec teams have this knack for just chipping away at the lead, jam by jam, and being able to come back from behind.
Yeah, absolutely, and they are a power jam away from bringing this game even closer.
It's an on the Gur for the Vipers.
She's been very effective out there on the line, and she proves it again, getting through with lead jam.
And Roadrunner breaks away from the pack herself and goes for her initial lap.
Effective offense there by Bangaroo. She didn't do anything. She just got in the way of the Le Quebecoise blockers and made enough of a hole for Nom de Guerre to get through. And she calls it before Roadrunner gets in there and scores anything.
4 points for the Vipers, taking their score up to 67.
So with a little under 6 minutes remaining, you're probably going to see the Vipers try and call these jams off as quickly as they can anytime that they have lead jam. Score points and call it. Try and keep Le Quebecoise off the board and away from momentum.
And a timeout has been called.
So that was a timeout by Le Quebecoise. Looks like they have an EMS over at the bench. Looks like one of the skaters just maybe got hit in the face or in the throat area. But she's doing the talking, so she seems to be okay. I think she's just checking just to be safe. While
the timeout is happening, just let also thank another one of our sponsors, Mayflower Landscaping, one of our sponsors supplying services to large condominium properties throughout the GTA. Mayflower Landscaping. Mill Street Brewery. Mill Street Brewery is a local Toronto craft brewery committed to brewing award-winning beers.
We should have them set up right beside us. I'll give them awards all day. So it looks like we have a little meeting in the middle with the refs and the NSOs. They've got that under control. Vipers currently have one blocker in the box. So we're on a lengthy timeout. I think this converted from a Le Quebecoise timeout to an official timeout. Looks like the lock has everything under control.
Another one of our sponsors, great sponsor here today. Can you forget? rollergirl.ca. For all your skating needs, visit rollergirl.ca.
So I'm not 100% sure what's happening here. I think because the EMS was called over, Le Quebecoise tried to call a timeout and bring the EMS over, but Joe the locksmith is taking control, and I think he's allowing the EMS to do a proper, to look the skater over properly and make sure everything's good. These kind of delays, they can work in the favor of the Vipers, or they can work in the favor of Le Quebecoise.
Definitely. It's, the Vipers are only up by 34 points at this time, or 35 points at this time. It's a lead that we've seen the Vipers actually. Well, we've seen the Vipers give up quite a big lead earlier in the day to the Montreal team, and that's probably going to be running through their minds right now that they could, no lead is basically safe in roller derby.
No,
unless you score like 100 points
each jam.
Yeah.
But right now, their coach is out talking to them, probably trying to keep them in this game. But this is kind of to Le Quebecoise' advantage because the Vipers had a lot of momentum going into this timeout, and now we're almost 5 minutes into an official timeout here.
The first time, little story here, the first time I ever had any sort of thing about exposure to roller derby was the old Roller Games TV show way back in the day. And nothing like the competitive nature that we see over here.
No.
In Roller Games, they had a gator pit, and some dude was like drop kicking people.
Yeah. I think he was a coach too, which I'm not sure that would really go well in today's game, but it was pretty popular in the 90s, and I get that question a lot from some people I work with. I mentioned that I'm involved in roller derby, coach, ref, etc., and that's the first question they ask me. Do you guys drop kick each other and give each other power bombs? And I'm like, no, it's not like that anymore. And I mean, it never was like that, but unfortunately, for a little while, when someone would mention roller derby, people would think of roller jam immediately and connect it to that roller jam from the 90s and the older ones. But I guess every now and then, with our derby names and some of the maneuvers that we pull out there, I guess it would look like a wrestling match at times. But we're back on the way, and Badger almost sneaks through for the Vipers, but she just went out. The Vipers are really going for that inside line off the start of the jams.
However, Badger takes the outside line this time and gets and establishes lead.
Good little bit of offense there by Le Quebecoise to get their jammer out quickly.
John Doe, the jammer for Les Québecoises. Taking her lap now. Now she's meeting up with the pack.
Badgers.
Ooh, big hit!
Badgers being told to call it. I can hear it coming from the bench, but she does not. So she's going to just keep this going. And she called it, but not before Le Quebecoise got in there and snuck out 4 points, I think.
Mm-hmm. John Doe with a lot of speed there and a lot of agility, but she ran into the brick wall that is FBI for the Vipers and took a pretty hard spill there. FBI
has been quite a force out there for the Vipers today too. Jammers will remember FBI and Regina Gorge for sure from the Vipers today.
Mm-hmm.
So we're underway again. Nom de Guerre out there for the Vipers. She's pushing hard. And she gets through for lead jam.
Scary Price, the jammer for the Les Québecoises. Earlier she was taken out of the play and out of bounds, but now she finally makes her way out and takes her initial lap.
You can tell Le Quebecoise coach has talked to them about their offense because as soon as they lose lead jam, they're starting to turn around and really try and help their jammer now. So that's making a bit of a difference.
Slashimi calls off the jam after she makes her way through for 4 points. Great moves as well too. She went from the right side, the far side of the track, and just fancy footwork there.
You just got to get that wall of blockers to follow you a little bit. Try and create that hole and then squeak through if you can. But that's where what we were saying just a second ago. That's where FBI and Regina Gorge, who unfortunately was ejected earlier, they've been very effective on that recycle, and they've been catching jammers all day.
Nom de Guerre still on the floor as the jammer. Ooh, almost took herself out of bounds, but
Nom de Guerre with a sneak by. Yeah. Gets yourself lead jam status again for the Vipers. Le Quebecoise really fighting hard to get Gigi through. They get her through, but not before Nom de Guerre is on the pack, and she sneaks through for a quick 4.
Gigi Crackface gets sent to the box.
Power jam for the Vipers. So Nom de Guerre has a chance to really take off with this game right now with 2.5 minutes left on the power jam.
And she gets it. Another 5 for Nom de Guerre.
She's been having a pretty good couple of games here back-to-back too. Putting a lot of points up there for the Vipers and continuing that right now.
Ooh, gets past the tripod +1.
Making it look easy out there right now.
Gigi Crackface back into it. And she steps out of bounds, needs to reset.
Nom de Guerre sees that opportunity and just busts through the middle. And I believe she just scored herself another, oh, she got 4. Gigi's past the star for Le Quebecoise, a Roadrunner. Nom de Guerre sneaks through, calls it off, adds another 4. Big jam for Nom de Guerre there.
And all in all, scores 23 points in that last jam, putting Vipers up to 97 points.
With 1:40 left, Vipers at 97, Le Quebecoise at 36. It's not looking too good for Le Quebecoise right now. Vipers really showing determination with the back-to-back games, and they just, like I say, they picked up right where they left off.
Hardly had a chance to catch their breath, but they're still scoring huge here against a pretty strong Les Québecoise team.
Indeed.
Oh. Slashimi with a nice crouch there to avoid the check.
A little bit of a dip.
Here she comes again with speed, directing traffic.
Oh,
and it's taken out.
Quebecoise there. But Scary Price jamming for Le Quebecoise. Looks like she's going to the box again, putting the Vipers again on the power jam to finish out this game. Slashimi recognizes that now, and she's really starting to push through.
43 seconds left on the game clock. 1:18 left on the jam clock.
And Slashimi just got the direction from the bench to keep it going, I believe. 30 seconds remaining. She's probably going to try and get through for a couple of more Grand Slams if she can. Beautiful sweep by the Vipers, but she was caught by Mimsmain.
Mimsane in the brain.
Not enough room for all that on the shirt, I guess.
Final 10 seconds on the game clock.
Unfortunately for Scary Price, she just got back onto the track, but they caused her to cut the track again, so she's heading back to the box with 30 seconds left on the jam clock. The game clock is officially run out, so once this jam is called or over, that should be it. Both jammers in the box. A little bit of confusion over there.
So Scary Price. Ooh, forced out of bounds there.
Big hit by Banger. So what happened in the box there was Le Quebecoise jammer was heading to the box, and the Vipers jammer thought she was able to exit the box immediately, but she was not, so she got called and went right back in. What started out as a pretty tight game, the Vipers they seemed to prevail, and they found what they found in the last game, and they just defensively dominated this game.
Nam de Gur scoring huge on a lot of her jams going forward, giving Skate of Emergency a little bit of a rest. Skate of Emergency did a lot of the scoring in the previous game.
In the previous game, yeah. No, a much needed rest. They're probably trying to save her for while they're advancing now, so they're probably saving her for the next game. Not 100% sure who they play. There's a couple of games wrapping up at the bubble, but I believe this eliminates Le Quebecoise. Hard-fought game by them.
And the final is now official. The Toronto Vipers 106, Le Québecoise 36.
I think we're somewhat back on schedule. I overheard some people talking earlier. We might be 10 minutes behind, but there was a little bit of a delay at the other game as well at the bubble.
And now the Vipers taking their victory lap, being greeted by Our Ladies of Pain. And so the then Les Québécois also taking a little bit of a lap themselves.
Well, Our Ladies of Pain beat Le Québecois at the bubble just before this game, so that makes me think that maybe the next game would be the Vipers and Our Ladies of Pain. That would be 3 in a row for the Vipers, so let's hope not for the Vipers.
They're certainly hoping for a little bit of a rest right now.
Somewhat. All right, on that note, Lex, it's been a pleasure, and this is Jam Solo signing off for now, and we will be back to you very soon.